experiencing crippling headaches and migraines, and my sight was a bit fuzzy, and I had a mini stroke. But no one believed me, because I was 32, I was young, I was presenting as fit and healthy and happy and well. So I was told it was probably eye strain, and I needed to get prescription glasses, and that didn't work. And then I was told it was a sinus infection, and so I was sent off with some antibiotics. And for a month this was going on, wearing sunglasses, everything was too loud, everything was too noisy. And I'm walking around saying to my friends, I think I've got a problem in my brain, actually. And my friends are saying, oh, such a drama queen. Because actually I was quite a happy person, I've always been a happy person. It seems happy people don't always get treated as severe injury patients. And I had booked to go on a retreat in Thailand, a chanting retreat and a yoga retreat in Thailand. And I had to call my ex-boyfriend at the time to get him to help me pack my bag, because I couldn't quite lift my head up. But I was going on this retreat because all I had was a sinus infection, right? So with my antibiotics and my new pair of specs, off I go on my 8-hour flight to Thailand. And I'm at the retreat centre and I can't hear, everything is too noisy. The bells are too noisy, the singing's too noisy. I couldn't lift my head to do the yoga. And eventually I booked myself in for a head massage. And I said to the woman, I've had this pain in my head now for, I think, about 5 or 6 weeks at that point. And I said, I really need this massage to work. You know, it's either going to kill or cure me. And she said, no, cure. And what happened then actually was, after the head massage, I had a collapse. And I was eventually taken into hospital on the island next door to where I was staying. And if you take nothing else from this talk, I really recommend travel insurance, guys. Best £19.46 I honestly ever spent on a Thai private hospital. Thank you. And I was whipped in to have a head scan, and they came up to me and said, you don't have a sinus infection, you've got a problem in your brain. That's quite something to hear when you're on your own. In a foreign country, and it just so happened that this hospital had Thailand's leading neurosurgeon. Yeah, all of these steps along the way were kind of guiding me in the right direction, it felt. So I spent time, and I called it my retreat. It wasn't I'm in hospital having brain surgery. Oh no, it was I'm just on retreat. I'm just on retreat, guys. Just spending a little bit longer out in Thailand. And I phoned my PA, who was running my business for me at the time, because I'd been a one-woman powerhouse. I had been running a burlesque business, actually, teaching hundreds of women every week to dance burlesque. Yeah, interesting, isn't it? Quite funny. And I had about 6 or 7 women working for me, and I had an assistant who was covering all of my classes. And I had strived, and I had really built this company. I was very proud, but I had hit burnout. And again, this is this thing that I'm talking about. We aren't learned to tolerate comfort and pleasure. What we are learned to tolerate is suffering. And I didn't notice what a strain I was putting myself under, physically, mentally, emotionally. I was shattered. So I'd said to my PA, I'm going off to Thailand for a month, and I'll be back, don't worry. And of course there I am phoning her from my hospital bed, going, I don't know when I'm coming home, I'm having brain surgery in 3 days' time. And so they found a substantial tumour in my brain, and I had surgery, and I had my recovery from surgery took quite a long time. I think maybe because I was in Thailand, they didn't want it to be headline news, so I got pumped full of steroids and a little bit overdosed on stuff. So I couldn't walk afterwards, I had to learn how to walk again, and my lung collapsed. And my breathing was down by 30%. And whilst I was out there in my single bedroom there, staring at the palm trees, all I could do was focus on my breath, because something that had been so easy for me was suddenly a real chore. And again, brain surgery recovery, I couldn't look at a screen, I couldn't look at my phone, I couldn't talk too loud, even the people pushing my bed from one room to another, everything was too fast. So all I could focus on was my breath. And breath for me is a really big part of overcoming health issues, or at least tuning into our body, because breath gives us space, it gives us a pause. one of the things I work with when I coach people through cancer is I often recognise how people who have cancer are the overgivers in life, the people who will always say yes, the people who will always put other people first. And so a bit of homework I often set people, which you might want to take home with you, is to take a breath before you answer a question. Take a breath before you say yes. Check into your body, how your body feels right now. Because when we start chatting about cancer, often all these little niggles can happen in our bodies. I actually got a bit of tension in my shoulders just thinking about it, talking about it. And so we know what we're all here for, but I go to other events, I go to vegan festivals and I talk about veganism and cancer and things like that. And I can really sense the energy in the room. I can often just see people's shoulders encroach up when we start talking about cancer. And when I was finally told that I had cancer, I felt it very much in my body. Before that point, I'd just been recovering from surgery and it'd been a bit weird, but I'd never actually really felt cancer in my body. And what I mean by that is the tension in my chest, the churning in my gut, the stress in my jaw, all of these things that are coming up in us. It's kind of nice seeing a few of you like wiggle your jaw and do a little head click and feel yourselves a little bit as we're going through this. Keep doing that. And what happens is I realised that that place of anxiety and tension wasn't the place that I was going to heal from. And that this anxiety only came on because I had some new information. I'd had cancer for however long now, but the moment I found out I had cancer, that is when I started to really feel it. And suddenly I could feel the cancer in my system. A friend of mine came to visit me in hospital and when I was back in the UK, and she said to me, she looked me in the eyes and she did that thing that we do with people with cancer in the society. She said to me, "You're going to beat this." And just that word, beat, had a real effect on my body, actually. And this is a word that we use a lot: beat it, fight it, kick its arse, you're going to kick this. And they're just all really quite aggressive words. And for me, I was like, wow, well, cancer's kind of like just a cell in my body that's mutated for whatever reason. The reason's not even important, actually. But this is my body, and I don't want it to become a war zone. And again, that feeling of the word beat sent such ripples through my system. I just very quickly said to her, I don't want to beat it. And I thought the opposite word. I just went, I'm going to glide. And I'm going to glide. And for me, that was kind of like my mantra. You're going to what? Glide. I'm going to glide. I'm not going to beat it. I'm going to glide. Effortlessly, graciously, I'm not going to fight. I'm not going to I'm not going to overexert. I'm going to take my time with this and I'm going to glide. And I would say this to people all the way through cancer is, I'm not fighting it, I'm gliding. It's all right. And what I noticed was in that moment that I had choice. I had a choice. I didn't have a choice about cancer. I remember phoning a teacher of mine, a spiritual teacher of mine, crying, saying, I didn't choose this, I don't want it, actually. I don't want this, take it back. I don't want this, I didn't choose this. I don't have any choice. And she said, Jen, you always have a choice. And I put the phone down, I'm like, what does she mean, I always have a choice? I don't have a choice about cancer. And I thought, and I got my journal out, and I thought, what are my choices around cancer? It's that actually I choose my attitude around cancer. I choose how I'm going to feel from cancer. I choose what I'm going to tell people about my cancer. I choose the people I have around me for support. I choose the people I listen to. I choose what I put in my body. I choose the things I say yes to and the things I say no to. So this might be another interesting piece of homework, is what choices do I have about cancer? And if you need reminding about homework, then don't worry, I've got tons of it. So choice around cancer. So I was, they eventually found a tumour in as well as the brain tumour which had been removed before it had been flown to the UK. They also found a tumour in my lung and in my lymph node. Interesting, that lung and that lymph node. It's that great place where you get to, after cancer, and you don't even know where your tumours were anymore. And you don't even know how long you've been cancer free. It's really great, actually, guys. See you all there. And they found it was a melanoma, so this is a skin cancer. It's a severe skin cancer, and it spreads to my brain and my lung and my lymph node. And they couldn't find the cause. I'm quite a mouldy person, I'm not a sunbather or a sunbedder or anything like that. And they said to me, it's a tumour of unknown origin. So I was quizzing them about this, and I was like, okay, so you can't find a physical cause. They're like, no, it's a tumour of unknown origin. So, okay, so it's not a physical cause, so it's psychological. I've got this, don't you worry. Of course, they thought I was mad. They thought I was in denial. And the attitude I had with my doctors was, we're in this together, you're working with me, I'm employing you for your bit of information actually, but there's a lot I can bring to the table. And I went home and I sat with the information before I told anyone really what was going on. It had all been over social media by this point, and lots of women knew that I'd extended my retreat in Thailand and that I'd had brain surgery, but no other information had come out, so again, people were probably making up their own fascinating, sensational, exciting stories. And I sat with the information before I told anyone, so I was like, actually, the story out there about cancer is death, disease, suffering, at best it's survival. I was like, oh, none of that makes me feel joyous in my body, actually. So I thought, I'm going to overcome this, and I'm going to overcome this by really loving myself. And this is about back to choices as well. I have the choice to set fierce boundaries around my care. And so I put a video out on Facebook 3 weeks after the diagnosis. I put a video out. It's still up there on YouTube actually. And it's just announcing to people who I hadn't told how I was going to overcome cancer. And I didn't want people turning up with sad faces. I didn't want people to pity. I didn't want people to bring me cake. I wanted people to bring me, organic cucumber and kale, please. And so I just made sure everyone knew this, because people don't know how to treat people with cancer. Well, they do. They know that, we throw cake stalls, and we don't really talk about it. And if we do, we talk about how's the cancer. That word that can't be said, the big C, as if there's nothing bigger. The whole energy around the word cancer. And I'm often interested when people, because I do a lot of retreats and I do a lot of talks over the UK and I do a lot of online stuff, and I went to a yoga festival last summer and I was sat on a yoga mat in London. I've never been to this place, I've never really hung out in London much, and this woman on the next yoga mat was just staring at me, and I was like, hello. It was a bit of a celebrity moment, and she kind of crawled over and she went, you do stuff online, don't you? I went, oh yeah, I do stuff online. She went, you work with people with still can't say the word, and I quite enjoy that space. I kind of let people fill the gap now, because before I'd say cancer, and now I just let that gap hang, and it's a ridiculous amount of time if you let other people say the word cancer. It's just fascinating, I think, people's attitude around it. And actually what we need to be doing is we need to be talking about it. We really need to be talking about it, because if we don't have it, someone we know probably will at some point, and keeping it in the dark isn't very helpful. I've lost my thread, and that's okay. Everyone take a breath while I think. So I put this video on Facebook telling people exactly what I needed, basically. And I hit upload, and that was the most terrifying bit of cancer. It's like, wow, not only have I told people that I've got end-of-life cancer, but I've also told them that I'm going to overcome it by love. What a crackpot. Absolute crackpot. And do you know what I got back was so much love from my friends and my family and from people I knew and people I didn't know as well, complete strangers. And it was that gave me the determination to carry on. And what I did in that moment was actually I opened up to love and I became really vulnerable. And again, this is another thing that we're not very good at. We're not very good at asking for support. We're not very good at being vulnerable. When we're ill, we'd rather hide away, section ourselves off, not speak to anyone, draw the curtains, not answer the phone. People choking in restaurants would rather go away and choke quietly in the toilets. There's a statistic about people who die choking in toilets because they'd rather not make a fuss. So my work was all about being an empowered patient. And for me, that's about making a fuss. I was asking a lot of questions. I was taking a lot of notes. I was doing a lot of research, and I was asking other people to help me. And I did a lot of research into diet was the first thing. and I looked into my immune system and I looked into my diet, and there were loads, I'm probably preaching to the converted here, there were so many documentaries out there now about health and good diets and good nutrition. I'm vegan and I'm alkaline, so it's kind of vegan plus, so I'm alkaline, which means no dairy, no meat, no sugar, and no gluten. At the time it was also no fruits, so no sugars, no sweeteners, no fruits, no honeys, no anything like that. Now I'm a bit looser on that, I quite like fruits these days. And I remember going to the doctors for my first appointment when they were going to tell me what their next steps were. So I got sent home after hospital and just told to wait. That point of just waiting for someone to be in touch, waiting. How long do I have to wait for someone to get in touch with me? What do I do in that space, the no man's land, waiting? And I went into the doctors and I spoke to them, and they offered me a treatment called immunotherapy, which was very, very new, and they offered it to me with the idea that it would only work for 10% chance. So it's a 10% chance it would work, and even working for them just looked like stabilising me, basically, at best. Working or stabilising. At no point did they believe I'd become cancer-free. And I remember thinking, well, I've done all this great research on diet, there's science out there about this, doctors will back me up. And I remember saying to them, oh, what should I eat? And they go, eat what you like, it won't make a difference. Exactly what they said. It's exactly what they say. I think the best, when I coach people and I hear their stories back, I think the best is, well, it can't hurt. It's good for your immune system to eat well. And I remember thinking at that point, wow, okay, I really have to depend on myself here, because the statistics I was hearing of the websites and the faces of the oncologists and the hospice staff that were turning up on my doorstep and the duty nurse, district nurse I was seeing every now and then, none of those people or those statistics or those bits of information were telling me that actually I was going to get any better. And I wasn't really going to put myself through this if I just had a 10% chance of stabilisation. And I realised suddenly my support network got a lot smaller. I chose some really amazing people. Just a handful of really good people I knew who were on the train with me, exactly how I needed to be. And so I upset a few people. I told them not to visit, or I let go of people. And this is really important, letting go of what doesn't serve us in our life. I think we've all got things that we do, maybe out of habit, maybe out of duty, that we don't need to do anymore. Maybe it's work, maybe it's relationships, maybe it's an old aunt you need to look after because you feel like you should, or maybe it's a friend you've known from school who's a bit of a nag actually, but you've known her 30 years. We all have little things actually that on a daily basis we tolerate suffering. So that's another interesting bit of homework maybe. What can I let go of in my life that doesn't serve me anymore? And then so I went home knowing that I would take the medication, but I could also do a lot of stuff for myself. So I made diet changes. I looked into detoxing. I did detoxing. I did cannabis oil, and I did mindset. And I'm going to talk about mindset first, because when we're out here trying alternative ways of overcoming cancer or working with our body, there's a whole world of information out there telling us how it's done or how other people are doing it. And if I do it one way, it's only going to end up one way or another. And if you haven't noticed, I haven't used the word remission, and I haven't used the word terminal. And I didn't in my video either that I sent out there. And I've only just started using those words since I've started giving these talks. Because at that point, telling people that I had terminal cancer wasn't going to be helpful to me. And people's reactions to that weren't going to be helpful to me. So one massive mindset shift is, how do we talk about our bodies? How do we talk about our health? And how do we talk about our cancer? People will say to us, how are you doing today? And I always had a bit of a stop reply. And it was, right now, I'm doing great, actually. And okay, sometimes we're not doing great. I'm not about plastering a face on and pretending. I'm about being real. But in that moment, come in. There's a nice comfy seat at the back. In that moment, actually, is it wise for this person to know where I really am? There's a bit about self-parenting as well when I do coaching. It's like, how do we parent ourselves? How do we put boundaries around ourselves and our health and our bodies and the information that we put out there in the world? And how do we protect ourselves from the energy, if you like, of the cancer? Even as what we see, different charities and different campaigns, how cancer is advertised, as the fight, as the battle. Right, mindset, words I use, really important. And again, these are all things you can do. What words do I use? Write those down. What words do other people use? Write those down. What words would be more helpful to me to use? So I always used to say overcoming cancer, or I'm on my way to cancer-free. 10% chance of survival, I'm on my way to cancer-free. Gratitude is another great thing. Thanking our bodies. The amount of people I work with who say, how can I do gratitude about my cancer? How can I do gratitude about my body when maybe it's letting me down, maybe I'm ill, I'm the illest I've ever felt. Well, you're speaking to me, so you have breath in your body, so that's something to be really grateful for. So I had structured kind of a day. My day would have very structured things I do throughout my day, which I share with people, which are on my website, which I email people about my day, my morning routine with cancer. Something else was manifesting, just really believing that I could become cancer-free. Because if I didn't become cancer-free, I wasn't hurting anyone by believing 100% that I could. Because if no one else was believing, I was going to make sure that I believed. So I put myself in the position of being happy and healthy every single day. I turned up to my doctor's appointments in the world's most ridiculous shoes. They were amazing. Oh, my shoe expansion, my shoe collection has expanded down the hallway. On my last day of my appointment, I was running around the house in my underwear, not knowing what to wear. I said, what do I wear for this last day of treatment? By this point, I got a bit bored of, dressing up. I was like, what do I wear? I answered the door to my postman, who handed me a parcel, and I opened this parcel, and it was sent from a mystery sender. To this day, I still don't know who it is, a gold sequined gown. So there I was, in the chemo ward, in my gold sequined gown. But in that gold sequined gown, I felt anything other than cancer. So looking at things that make you feel good, things that make you feel good. I always wear my slippers anywhere I can. I always sit on the floor wherever I can. I always wear comfy jogging pants whenever I can, because I want to feel good in my body. Diet. Things I did for diet. I juiced. I did ABC juice, actually, apple, beetroot, carrot and lemon every single morning. And I did, as I've already said, alkaline diet, so that's kind of like vegan plus extras. The general rule with that is 80% of your plate to be vegetables, as raw or as lightly cooked as possible. When we're moving into winter, you might want more soups and stews, because we won't, let's be kind to our body. And I know a lot of other people on other kind of diets, keto diet and all the rest of that, and that's possibly great too. There's a lot of information out there, and a lot of it's very confusing. So choose what feels right for you. It really is about tuning in and asking and talking to your body, which we'll come on to. Detoxing. So not only did I go through all of my cupboards and chuck anything out that had any toxicity in it, kind of everything in my house, anything that was on my skin or that I washed up with, everything as natural as possible. Food, I went organic. I heard a statistic recently, and I'm not sure where I found this, that if we change our diet to organic, we reduce our toxic intake by 85%. That's worth the extra money as far as I'm concerned. What else do I do for detoxing? Epsom baths. Oh, what hardship. Epsom baths every day. 45 minutes, guys. 2 massive handfuls of Epsom salts. Coffee enemas. This is something which is spoken of in the Gerson therapy. Dr. Gerson was a doctor in the 50s who found alternative ways of treating cancer, like the alkaline diet, juicing, and coffee enemas were his 3 main things. And coffee enemas was, if I'm honest, a step too bloody far. Well, I've changed my diet, I've stopped drinking, I don't even drink coffee anymore, and now I've got coffee up the bum, right? And it took me a little while to get there, and when I work with people about this, it always takes them a while too, usually. But then what happens is when they're eventually there, they phone me and go, oh my God, it was amazing, I want to do them every day, I wish I'd done them sooner. And I'm exactly the same. So I'm going to talk a little bit about coffee enemas here. There were lots of YouTube videos out there. That on my blog, there's information about how to do it and all the rest of it. Good, oh good, this has made you smile. Suddenly you go, coffee enemas, great, hilarious. Coffee enemas. It's just a funny thing. Coffee. I'll give you some science behind it. Right, so our colon is mega membrane, basically, really thin membrane, it's the same as our mouths, same tube, basically. So we absorb a lot. And around that area, we have a lot of feces, funnily enough. And what that is a lot of toxicity is being released from our body. The membrane in the colon is kind of jaggedy, and stuff can get stored in there. Feces sit and can fester for years. Some people say 7 years, some people say 10 years, some people say a lifetime. You know, I don't think there's a general rule, but I don't want 7-year-old feces anywhere near me, actually. Especially not in my megaporous membrane, where toxicity can be reabsorbed. No, thank you. So, it's good to flush that area of your body out. Also, coffee stimulates something to do with the bile ducts and makes the liver do its job better. And the liver is a massive organ in our body, and it's really important for detoxing. So it's really important that we support our liver through this health process. And it's something I still do at the turn of a season every year. So I'm due a coffee enema soon. So if you need any more information about that, again, there's lots of information out there. I can send you information on this, and it's all in my blog. But not only is it physically quite a good thing to do, there's no better way to explain it other than loads of shit left me. And I don't just mean physical shit, loads of stuff just left me. I'm not the same person since my first coffee enema, and so many people say that. Anyone else here brave enough to go, I've tried it?
I've done it a few times.
Yeah, how was that?
No,
just a no?
Yeah.
Anyone a big yes?
My husband's trained in dosing therapy.
Yeah.
So, you know, that's
Excellent.
what we do detox workshops at the
Yeah. Anyone else?
I'm completely addicted.
Completely addicted? Yeah, good. Oh, look at it. It's like we're Coffee Enemas Anonymous. Coffee enema addict now for 5 years. Thank you for those of you, both people. Speak to them if you don't believe me. What else did I do? Full life detox. So again, what was I taking in on a regular basis? Not just with food, but what information was I taking in? What people did I not need to speak to? What did I not need to watch? I wasn't on Facebook. I wasn't watching any of those bizarre little videos. I wasn't watching advertising. I didn't have a telly. I wasn't reading the newspaper, because actually nothing was important other than me and anything that was happening in the room I was sat in, actually. And that sounds like quite a selfish place, but it was putting really hard and fast boundaries around myself. And when I coach people and I talk to them and they say, oh, I can't do that because I have children or I have work, it's actually you really need to put what are you working for? Actually, what are you working for? Let's heal, and let's heal quickly, shall we? Cancer is an extreme example of our body telling us that something is wrong. So let's make some changes, and those changes might need to be a little bit extreme as well. What else did I do? Oh, cannabis oil. I did cannabis oil. And I did, again, cannabis oil was something I didn't do straight away, because I had been a bit of a drug taker in my teenage years. I just experimented with pot, I was a bit of a pot smoker. And I ran a one-woman business. I had no interest in getting high anymore. I didn't want to get high, I didn't want to get lazy, I didn't want to get unmotivated, any of that. But I did my research and I looked into it and I did cannabis oil. Not the CBD oil that you get from Holland Fabulous, guys. Anything that's in a dropper bottle off the shelf. Don't waste your money. THC is what it is, which is the illegal stuff, unfortunately, so you will just have to find your own source. Please don't ask me, I never give out my source. But lots of people are doing it, and not just hippies and druggies. You know, people I coach who I know are doing it are on, you know, on their local school PTA and stuff like that. This is a healing medication. It is a plant medicine, and it works. And it works for cancer. It works for tumours. But it's not the golden bullet. People are reaching for it like, oh, people always contact me because they're interested in the cannabis oil side of things. And I'll say to them, great. Have you given up sugar yet? Have you done coffee yet? Have you changed your diet? No, I just want to know about the cannabis oil. Like, it's part of the full spectrum about healing. And if people come to me for help and they tell me that they can't give up sugar, I often say to them, I don't really want to waste your money by coaching you, actually, if you can't give up sugar, because I'm going to be maybe asking you to do some trickier stuff and giving up sugar. So cannabis oil, do some research into that. Again, there's loads of information out there and on my blog about how to take cannabis oil. I did a talk at the Glastonbury Plant Medicine Conference about a month ago, I think, and that should be up somewhere on my Facebook page, all about how to grow it, how to make it, how to take it. There's lots of different ways of taking it for cancer. And again, it's not one size fits all. There's a guy called Rick Simpson from America. I think he now lives in Canada. He's got a phoenixtears.com website, and he talks a lot about it. And he says that you need to take 30 grams over 90 days, 3 months. He believes you can cure cancer, and that's great. And I've heard of people doing it. I didn't take anywhere near that much because of the psychoactive effects on me. I took probably half that amount, but it definitely works towards my cancer, I believe. And I was really strict with myself, guys. You know, it's not just, I'm doing all of these things, a little bit here, a little bit there. I think I probably need to do this. I'll have a bit of dairy. I was really strict. My timer was going off. I'd given my company over to someone else at this point. It's like, okay, you've just got to take over for me for a while. And I had a checklist on my fridge, and my phone was going off every however long ago. Meditate now, coffee enema now, juice now, with a nice alarm, not just a yeah, nice. All you need is love by the Beatles, I recommend. And one of the other things I was doing was recognising that, and this has become more and more prevalent when I'm working with people with cancer, and I also run retreats and things, how cancer is the disease of the people who give too much, actually. So where do we need to love ourselves more, and what changes do we need to make? And how can we tune into our body and listen to when our body is telling us that we're overstepping our boundaries? And again, we're overstimulated by the noisy outside world, which tells us that we should be working harder and probably be more successful, and you're probably not a very good parent, and you probably need to buy this to make us look prettier. There's a lot of information out there telling us that we need to be better in one way or another. When are we listening to what's inside of us, telling us how we need to be better? I'm going to do a little bit of that today. So, 6 months, just over 6 months from diagnosis, I was cancer-free. And the same doctor who told me I could eat what I like, turned around and said, whatever you're doing, just keep doing it. And I see that doctor, I have yearly scans now, and she always calls me for good luck charm, because she'd only just started in oncology when I rocked up with my alternative attitude, shall we say. And I just want to kind of remind people that it's really doable. But I set a really strong, powerful intention at the start, which was I was going to overcome cancer fully